Before we get stuck into having this great conversation, can we please talk about the artwork behind you?
So these are both David Shrigley's, and I saw this one, which says "You got beaten by a crab." Ha 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 ha. One of our friends' places, and I said to Ruth, when we get our house, I need to have that. But just this on the wall doesn't look nice, so I needed a second one,
Of
which
course.
I love a bit of swearing here and now and again. Um, and last week, Ruth's nan, very lovely lady, came round, but she is a little bit religious, so we
Oh
had to
no.
take it down for her sake because we didn't want to upset her. But yeah, no, these are both David Shrigley's. We love David Shrigley, so yeah.
That
Very
is
cool.
absolutely lovely, and I think the shares and the sale price of David Wrigley is now going to go up
You're welcome.
substantially
I
since you
need
gave him that.
commission. I need
Yeah.
commission.
100%. We'll set up that brand deal for you. Yeah, obviously, I'm really happy that we're getting to talk to you off the back of like quite a nice space that Man City are currently sitting in. What's it like? What's the view from the top like, mate? Yeah.
It's a bit chilly up here. No, no, I mean it's great. Obviously, it's what we all really work for really hard. So, it's really good, and it makes the league interesting. That's the most fun part. We're sitting on top now, but the most important thing is to try and stay there. Obviously, with the derby on the weekend, which will be fun for numerous reasons. So yeah, no, it's exciting time to be at City.
Can I ask about the post-match Instagram captions? Do they come to you afterwards? They're obviously very pun heavy, which I really enjoy. Or like, do you think about them beforehand, or is that kind of jinxing the result a bit?
It kind of mixes around. Sometimes I think of some options beforehand, but a lot of the times you don't really know what happens on the day. So yesterday was about it being really rainy. So it just kind of comes to me. Sometimes it comes to me during the game.
Mhm.
Don't know if I should be saying that. But I'm like, oh, that's really funny. Should definitely caption that later. Uh,
Really have to
sometimes,
win now so you can use
yeah, I
it.
really have to also really like lock in. But sometimes, to be fair, sometimes I do struggle because we play the same team so many times. So I'm happy when we play a team like, for example, London City that I've never played against. Like, oh, finally a new club I can make a pun about. So yeah, it kind of differentiates.
So we think about the struggles of footballers. You never think about
No, no,
that kind of
that's
stuff they have to deal with. Playing the same
The
teams
mental
again.
load.
How are you going to come up with another pun?
That's so insightful. I think, and
Yeah.
I think it must be like when you're on the pitch. There are moments where the game's in a lull, or it gets booted off, or
Well, you were a
someone's
goalkeeper. That
someone's
must have
injured.
happened a
Oh
lot.
bloody hell! I think that's why I was so crap, because I was constantly thinking about other things whilst I was on the pitch and not doing my job. Essentially, yeah. Needless to say, I only spent 1 year in the WSL. But moving swiftly on, talking about performances in the WSL, you personally have obviously had a fantastic start to the season. How have you kind of been feeling? Like, you feel like, I don't know, watching you just feel like you're full of joy and just like excitement from being on the pitch. I mean, is that how you're feeling inside?
Yeah, I'm a happy girl. I would say I'm generally quite a happy girl. But no, I'm definitely enjoying, and there's been quite a bit of change, obviously, coming throughout last season into this season. Obviously, new staff, new coach, new players, a lot of young, new, exciting players coming into our team. So it's been a bit of a mix up, but I would say it's been really good, and I'm enjoying it. I think we look as a team look like we're enjoying it, which is the most important part. And I think games that we would have maybe lost last year, we're now actually winning. So I think we're doing really, really well. So I can't complain.
You've spoken a little bit about having a bit more freedom to push up the pitch. We're seeing you score goals, but also that kind of maybe more leadership role as well. Is it a combination of like being given that freedom by the style of play you're playing, but also just being more comfortable in the club you're at and the role you're doing, and all of those kind of things clicking into place?
I think all of it kind of clicks. I think on the pitch, definitely, I've got such a free role now, which is something I really enjoy. I think that's one of the things, I know what I'm really good at, and that's just the helping in the attack, overlapping, doing a lot of running, is what I'm generally quite good at. So to get the freedom and the trust as well, I think a lot of it comes down to trust from a manager, trust from the players, but also trust from me on the rest of the defenders
Mhm.
to know if I'm gonna shoot off to join the attackers, they'll have it sorted behind me. So I think trust is a very big word that comes into play. But yeah, no, it's been really good, and it's been a little different than what it used to be for me, and so far I can't complain.
You talked a little bit sort of about the freedom that you've now got under the sort of new management and how it kind of like really feeds into what you've wanted to do on the pitch. I mean, but do you feel like over the sort of the course of your career, do you feel like your position has changed? Like what's demanded of a fullback has kind of changed as the WSL has developed and got fitter, faster, stronger, more dynamic, like the strategies are changing, formations are changing. How have you kind of seen that progress?
Yeah, it's quite funny because I actually didn't play fullback until 4 years ago. So I only came into position 4 years ago. So I've always kind of felt like I was behind on a lot of other players. A lot of players have played in my position their whole lives. So I always felt like I had to catch up a little bit, which maybe even worked in my advantage. And I've just been very lucky that City decided to only see me play fullback for maybe 6 months, and we're like, yeah, sure, we'll take her. So I'm very lucky, and I'm very grateful that they gave me the opportunity to really nail down what my position looks like and what that means for me. But I've definitely seen a big change in the physical demand, but also the technical demand. I think we're basically hybrid defenders. Sometimes we play inside into the midfield. Sometimes we play as wingers. Sometimes we play in the free as an extra centre back. So I think a lot of things are being expected from us now, and I think the diversity of our position is what makes it so fun, and it's why I'm enjoying it so much.
So it's taken you only 4 years then to be one of the best fullbacks in the WSL. Cool. I was going to say who's the most difficult winger to face, but given the way the game is going, you're also then facing other fullbacks as well. So who have you found challenging to come up against?
That's a good one. I usually struggle. Well, I don't struggle, but what usually is the hardest thing to defend is an overlapping fullback.
Mhm.
So I would say really good for like KTVK, for example, strong defender, strong fullback, likes to overlap, likes to whip the balls in, creates a lot of width. I think if you've got really technical winger next to that likes to kind of drive inside, that makes it quite hard because you've got basically two players that you're going to have to deal with. So I think I think it's more type of fullback that is really difficult to defend.
And what would you say? Obviously, we talked a little bit about your versatility and sort of how the role of fullback has kind of changed. But obviously, not only have you been an incredible defender and part of the defensive system, but also 2 goals and 2 assists in 7 starts in the league this season, including a goal and that pinpoint assist for Bonnie Shaw against Arsenal. I mean, what would you say actually is better? Like scoring a goal or like sliding tackle, like saving, what are you saying? Like defensive duties or when you get that goal and the crowd goes absolutely wild?
That's a good. You have to give me a bit more context here because
Like
if it's
goal
a
line
game,
clearance,
yeah,
Against
if it's a goal line
Chelsea.
clearance, 90+5, we are winning. I'll take their goal line clearance every
yeah,
single day.
okay,
But I also do love to score a goal. I haven't scored loads yet, so every goal is special. So yeah,
love that.
it's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean you do both, so it's grand. I suppose you don't have to choose. You were captain for the very first time against West Ham. How have you found wearing the captain's armband? Is it something you have aspired to do, or how did it feel for you?
I don't necessarily think it's something I aspired. I think it's a role I've kind of rolled into the last maybe year or so. Um, Obviously for me it's a great honor, and again coming back to trust, for the club to trust me, for the team to trust me to take on that role. I've never been in any leadership roles like that, so it's quite new for me, but I think it's a really exciting opportunity, and obviously I'm incredibly proud to to take that place, and to help support Alex as well. Her being the club captain, and to help support her, and to take some pressure and some of the roles off of her as well. So yeah, it's very exciting times.
And obviously, there's been quite a few sort of like newbies come into the Man City squad. Are you sort of the kind of new Man City mother, kind of taking the youngsters under your wing and teaching the Kerstin Casparij way of life? Who's your kind of like who's your underlings at City?
My underlings, oh, my little ducklings. But I do generally really I am able to connect with the younger generation because I'm so chronically online. So anything to all the memes, like they
Mhm.
know they know I know them, so that is quite fun.
Nice.
I've implemented a question of the day board, which is my way to connect with everybody.
Love this.
So we've got a daily question. Sometimes if someone else wants to put in a question, they can put it on. So that creates a lot of fun conversations. My TikTok queen Jade Rose. She's real. She's a good laugh. Yeah, I would say everybody's my friend.
And what kind of questions are we putting on the question of the day board? Like, and do these come from you, or do these come from youngsters who want to like gather like that experience from you?
Well, they're very silly questions. Which example am I going to give?
Which ones are appropriate?
No, I have to keep it a little bit appropriate because it's in our lounge and staff is there as well. So I don't want
Of
our
course.
manager to come waltzing in and look at the board and be like suspicious. Well, like little things like, if you have your partner's location, do you think that is normal? Do you think that's toxic? Now you would have like a little bit of you all the judgery.
What such a good question.
People like me, they would say, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I trust my partner. And then you've got some of the younger girls that are like, no, that is toxic. So
Okay.
then you can have a fun
Interesting.
conversation. It's a fun way to
they're like
get all the
culturally
generations
relevant
in.
questions.
Where do
Yeah,
you
and
sit on
to-
that?
Where do I sit?
Yeah.
I mean, I choose not to. Like, Florence has asked me if I want to.
She's
like,
asked you.
Yeah, only because like she's been to like some really quite dangerous countries recently. So I was
Oh
like,
my
okay,
God.
it could be quite a good one for me to know where you are just in case something happens. But like,
Yeah.
generally speaking, I don't really want to. Like, yeah,
That is
you
so
know,
interesting.
and 9 times out of 10, you're in my living room, so it doesn't.
That is true.
you
Fair
know,
enough.
Yeah,
That's
that is
true.
fair.
doesn't really matter.
I've discreetly put, no, I'm joking, this isn't on purpose, but I've put like air tags in like my camera bag. Sophie's a terror for like disappearing without her bag.
Love that.
So there's one in there. So every so often when I'm at a match, I'll just get a message going, Sophie's backpack is no longer near you. And I'm like, don't know where she's gone.
Ooh.
Need to get like a bell or something. On your, TikToks and Instagram and everything else, do you do that because it's something you enjoy, or is it something you feel also gives you kind of that added connection to your fans and people that enjoy following you, and it allows you to kind of have those conversations and I guess connect more?
It's something I generally enjoy. I think that's definitely where it started from. Now I've got to say my girlfriend's a lot better at it because I sometimes I wake up, I'm like, you know what, today's going to be a day in the life, and then halfway through the day I forget I'm doing a day in the life, so then it's just wasted. But no, I do genuinely enjoy doing it, making the clips. It's also like fun memories for us as well. So we look back on videos from a year ago and we're like, oh, we were so young back then. And obviously, in addition, the connection with the fans that obviously has changed a little bit in the last year and a half. I think it's women's players not able to approach them as much anymore from a safeguarding point of view, obviously with the success from the Lionesses. And we did really, or at least I did really see, because I'm so chronically online, a lot of fans being a little bit disappointed about that, which I completely understand. It's been a big change. So to be able to use my social media platform to still engage with a big part of the fans, a big part of the WOSO community, as we call it, is a big added plus.
And you use it as well to, as you touched on, show your relationship as well with Ruth, which is obviously a lot of people really enjoy seeing that kind of openness as well. And did it surprise you, kind of the reactions you get from that? Like, I'm thinking back to that campaign you did with Tinder, and it just like everyone was like, this is amazing. This is such a great example of using your platform, but also a brand recognizing what's important to the people they want to work with.
Yeah, I think touching on our collaboration with Tinder, that was such a fun thing to do, and I think Tinder is so good when it comes to inclusivity. And it was such a fun process to work with them to really tell our story and to really make it authentic, because obviously we found it very important. If we were going to share our relationship, then we want that to be as authentic as possible, because we want to be good role models and good representation of a queer relation or lesbian relationship. And luckily Tinder completely agreed with that. So the outcome of the ad was so good, and we were so happy with it, and we got so many positive reactions and responses, and it was a fun way and a fun thing for us to look back on.
It was amazing because it kind of felt like, I feel like I know Ruth as a personality, like alongside you. Like, it kind of feels like Ruth is part of the WSL in a way.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's like
She feels the same.
I can imagine.
Wag.
At some point in the
Yeah.
season, she'll be substituted on, and I won't bat an eyelid at all. So you recently became a patron of the LGBT Foundation, the UK's leading LGBTQ plus health and wellbeing charity. Can you tell us a little bit about your role and why it was so important to you to be involved in the organisation?
So I kind of rolled into becoming a patron or an ambassador at the LGBT Foundation. It was all started off with the Supreme Court ruling and the statement I made. And then I got in, basically after that, I got in touch with the LGBT Foundation.
Mhm.
And obviously, once we got to talking, I was like, you know what? I would actually really like to do something. I would really like to work together. Is there anything I can do? Is there anything you guys would need? So I had a few meetings with them, came up with some incredible ideas, and I've been made aware that there used to be a women's program, and that had to be wasn't funded anymore, so it didn't exist.
Mhm.
To the point, my question was, well, how much would you need to raise, or would we need to raise to be able to get that back up and running? What can I do? So that's kind of how it all developed. And then obviously they offered me the ambassadorship, which I very happily accepted. And we've now just started the fundraiser called Leveling the Playing Field, which has the main goal, or the star on the horizon, is to get the women's program up and running first in Manchester and then all across the UK. So yeah, it's very exciting, and hopefully a lot of good things to come.
What do you think, I guess, a young Kerstin would feel about what you're doing right now? Because I know you spoke to the BBC recently and said it was hard growing up kind of until you got into women's football, and now you're, patron and you're marching in Manchester Pride and you're speaking out really proudly and doing these collaborations with Tinder. Like, what do you think a young Kerstin would feel about that?
She would be like, "Girl, what are you doing?" No, she would have. I think she would be buzzing in general if like 12, 14-year-old me would see the way I live now, everything I do now, and also the places that I go, the people that I meet, the opportunities that I get. I'm still so grateful, obviously, at this more point in time, and sometimes I really have to stand still and really appreciate it all because my life is so fast paced. But I think younger me would be so incredibly proud, and I think she'd be buzzing to get over her teenage years and actually go into her 20s. And yeah, no, I think she'd be very proud.
I think there's just so many fans in the space that obviously respect what you do on the pitch, but off the pitch, like the work that you do in advocating for the LGBTQ plus community is so genuine, authentic, and so unbelievable. Because I think it is difficult when you're a player to kind of, choose what you want to speak up about and have the freedom to do that without kind of backlash and fear. And I think, one of the big moments that we'll all always remember is sort of that moment last season, that inspiring statement that you made after your goal against Everton, kissing the trans pride flag wristband.
That was amazing.
It was just such an iconic thing to do and such an impactful thing to do at a time that the trans community felt pretty much kind of under attack and not in a good space at all. But can you tell us kind of what impact you wanted to make and how you felt in that moment and kind of the lovely outpouring of messages and support from that?
So that kind of started obviously with the outrage and the very strong emotion that I had, and I'm very lucky that I have Ruth and she feels the exact same way, that we had at home. And obviously we read through all the articles, and we were both, we both felt some type of way about that. And it's obviously our community, and the trans existence within our community is so big, and trans people throughout history have done so much for the LGBTQ plus community. So for me, they're such a well-loved and well-respected part of it. And that's why I decided to put something on my story. I think something along the lines, I reposted something along the lines of trans women are still women.
Mhm.
And I lost like a few hundred followers, which I don't care about losing followers. But it did definitely show me that even a lot of people that follow me, a very out and about queer woman,
Mhm.
still had some transphobic thoughts. So that got me thinking, well, is there a bigger impact? Is there a bigger statement I can make? So I went into the club next day. One of my best mates, Katie, started up, and I got to talking, and we were like, well, we've we agreed, we don't agree with this. What can we do something? Had a lot of interesting conversations with other girls within the club, other players. And we were like, you know what? We should just raise awareness and we should show our solidarity. That was the most important. That's what we wanted. We don't want to convince anyone. We can't convince anyone. The most important part is to stand with the trans community and to show them we care about you. You are seen. You are heard. If you come to a Man City game, you will be safe and accepted as long as we are here. So that's kind of how we got to the idea of let's do a trans wristband. Obviously, FA regulations, you can't put anything on your shirt. We also don't want to get fined and banned again. So let's do it, in a way that we won't get in trouble. So we ended up falling on the wristband, and I remember texting Ruth before the game, saying, "I'm going to score today. I'm going to kiss the wristband. We're really going to make it a statement." And obviously, I scored like pretty early on. So yeah, that was it was quite special.
I was going to ask that, like, to decide to do that and then to score, like, not what are the chances, but like, you're not a number 9. You're not kind of really high percentage that this is definitely going to happen. So it obviously must have been some sort of, I guess, a driving factor just internally that you were like, I am going to do this. Did you expect the reaction?
No, I did expect people to notice, and I did respect a reaction. I didn't expect how much it exploded and like how viral it almost went. I saw it like across all social media outlets, like across different continents, like so many like people saw it and reposted it, but also so many people commented on it. But it was for me very almost a relief to see that so many people stood with the trans community and were in solidarity to them. And that could be ranging from straight allies to parents of a trans kid, of a queer child, other queer people. So that for me was very, very heartwarming and very wholesome. And obviously there were some hate comments, but I would probably not even finish reading the sentence. I already see like 30 comments to them. So I was like, okay, yeah, we're having each other's back here. And that's essentially what I really wanted, was to stand together with and for the trans community. So not only, I didn't expect the scale of it, but it was a nice surprise, and I'm happy that it panned out the way it did.
When you kind of make a stand like that, is there any kind of like fear or anxiety around the sort of the vulnerability, I suppose, that sort of speaking out against topics that a lot of people would see as more controversial topics? Because I know like I've had a load of experiences where I've been at clubs, sort of spoken against like, I know things that have gone on behind the scenes or lack of resources and things like that. And there's always this like barrage, but there's always this like you're waiting for something, like for someone to say something, and then it kind of makes you like less inclined to say things again. Like, do you ever, because I feel like you're so outspoken and I feel like you're so resilient, and maybe that's due to like the amazing support network that you have, but do you ever get those moments of kind of the anxiety when you sort of do things like that at all?
Yeah, definitely. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, why am I actually so extroverted? What am I doing to myself? But I think when it comes to topics like this that stand really close to me as a person, as a queer woman, all I cared about was what the people that it mattered, so the queer community, my family, my friends, my partner. What do they think? Am I doing the right thing? And for me, the answer was undoubtedly yes, I'm doing the right thing here. And I was also almost like, someone has to say something. So F it, it's going to be me. I'll just do it. I don't care. And if I'm going to have to take a hypothetical bullet for the trans community, then so that's going to be it. And so be it. I think my parents were more nervous about it. But yeah, no, sometimes I do. But I think for the statement I made for the trans community, I wasn't nervous at all. I was like, come on.
Has your experience with your own sexuality and coming out, has that kind of, do you think, contributed to how powerfully now you speak out and speak up for the LGBTQ plus community?
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up, and I'm born in the year 2000, so that's not that long ago.
Oh, that makes me feel so old.
Sorry. There wasn't a lot of representation, and if there was representation, a lot of the time it wasn't really accurate representation. I don't know if that makes sense. So I think that's definitely something I missed, and to be able to explore that from a younger age, because I was quite young when I already realized like I like girls the way I should be, air quotes, liking boys.
Mhm.
But I didn't know what to do with that because I didn't know anyone else that felt that way, and it was kind of a taboo, and I didn't get educated on it, and all the confusion that that brought would have helped, what would have been taken away if I had accurate representation,
Mhm.
and if there actually were conversations. And that's why I'm finding it so important to be that person for a lot of people, and to also show them. That's why I want it to be accurate. And I, sometimes it's not nice, and you do get grief, and unfortunately that is a part of it. But that's not making me back down from who I am, and I'm still going to live authentically and be authentically me, and that's the most important part. But yeah, it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of confidence. It takes a lot of growth. Yeah, that's definitely what I want to show to a lot of, especially the younger generation.
Do you kind of see your advocacy continuing after your playing career? Because I either see that you're going to end up as like CEO of Tinder or prime minister to something like that, or you're going to sort of become like a real LGBTQ plus figurehead in the space. And I just see you on this like gorgeous like pride parade kind of like float, just like heading up London Prides. Like
On the pink cloud.
Yes.
That's the only three options that I have for you, Kerstin. So can you choose one of those, please?
Ooh, I liked. Get me in touch with Nico so we can both run for what do you run, Prime Minister? What do you run for again?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be his running mate.
Yeah.
It'll be chaotic.
Keir Starmer could definitely do with the help, to be honest.
Oh,
so
God.
I think that'd be a welcome addition to the cabinet.
Yeah,
I
go
was
and
gonna
get me
say-
on there. House of Commons.
Chloe, for you, because I mean, you've been in women's football community longer than I have, but we often talk about how, this kind of speaking up and having, being able to see people like you helps young people going through this, but like it helps people, not just young people going through this, because I found I was in a relationship and engaged, and I was still calling Sophie my partner in my workspace. And it wasn't really until I spent more time in women's football that like I started to actually be more comfortable in myself. So it's not just, my point is not just like young people whose journeys this kind of speaking out helps. It's like it's everyone kind of in the space. It helps them be more comfortable. As you say, representation is so important. I don't know if it was different for you because you've been playing football for so long, but like Kerstin, I know you're significantly younger than me, but still inspiring people like me who are a lot older than you to be much more comfortable in their own skin.
Thank you. That's so kind. Well, I mean, touching up on that, I've seen a lot of people say like even the words like lesbian or gay, like they're finding it difficult to identify as like, oh, I'm lesbian. And I think it's so nice to see us as the older generation. Let's talk about people from our ages, to like reclaim those words and to be really comfortable with it, and not allowing it for ourselves to let it be a slur anymore, or let it affect us, and just owning it completely. So
Yeah.
100%, mate. Basically, just don't stop doing what
keep
you're
going.
doing, because we absolutely love
Nice.
it. It's not only incredibly powerful, but incredibly entertaining as well. Like the memes and the tweets and things.
The captions.
Yeah, just carry on with that, because like, I could read those all day. In fact, make it into a book and sell it for Christmas, because it would be a bestseller.
Kirsten's caption.
Yeah, go on then.
Kirsten's caption.
Chaos.
There
Yeah,
you go.
nice. You heard it here first.
Stocking filler.
Yeah, I won't
Yeah, go
copyright
on.
that one.
Limited editions signed.
Let's get stuck into the football a little bit, because obviously you've got quite a few tasty fixtures coming up just before you're allowed to have your Christmas break. Obviously looking ahead to this weekend, it's the Manchester derby at the Etihad. How much are you kind of looking forward to that one?
It's Manchester derby, so I'm always looking forward to it. But I think, especially now with how the league stands, it's gonna be a spicy one. So, yeah, I'm excited as always, and I hope we're gonna get a good crowd, a good attendance, and yeah, hopefully, it'll be a good game.
And how much do you enjoy playing at the Etihad? I know it's only over the road, but like,
I mean, it's really good, especially if it's quite full. If we're able to fill it up and there's a good atmosphere, I absolutely love it. And it's always nice to play in the Etihad. I think it's an incredible stadium. So yeah, it's just over the road anyway, isn't it?
Oh, mate, that's an easy commute for you, 100%.
Yeah, that easy.
Obviously, you're sitting at the top of the table at the moment. It's such a glorious position to be in. Do you think you guys have got what it takes to finish the season, pick up the title, and just bring a bit of variety to the WSL trophy, to be honest? Because I think we're all a little bit bored. I'm going to say a little bit bored of seeing the same old team pick up that trophy.
I think a bit of variety would be good. You gotta respect Chelsea for what they've done. Obviously, that's incredible. I hope we come away with win the league. I mean, it's still a long way to go. Luckily, we're getting some injured players back now, which is going to be really good. But it's going to be a very, very long season still. So to be able to say, yes, we're going to win the WSL, I think we are too early for that. But it's definitely something that we really, really want to, especially after being so close 2 years ago. Being really close up to a certain point last season, I think that's why I'm so hesitant to really say that now, because we were really close last year as well, up until Christmas, and after that, we just had a lot of injuries. Were not performing at that time, so then we like went all the way out to the top to number 4. But yeah, no, it's an exciting time, and I really hope we can keep the momentum, get that into Christmas, have a nice break, and then come out flying in January again.
And what are you doing for the Christmas break? How are you relaxing, taking some time off? Are you kind of like settling back, or are you going to be full tilt in everything that you do off the pitch?
Obviously, I've got to do my schedule, my running schedule. You'll probably know a lot of running, a lot of gym.
I won't actually, Kerstin. I was in goal.
I'm looking at Chloe like, did you?
I should have been a goalkeeper, man.
Yeah, it was a different era in
goalkeeper.
2019 as a goalkeeper. I'll tell you that for free. It was about 3K
Maybe I
a
should-
match, and I enjoyed it.
Oh, maybe I should swap training schedule with Kiara or Yama or something. But yeah, no, you'll see me running around somewhere and be in the gym. We were planning to go away, but our cat sitter's in the Maldives, so I can't. So we'll be at home. It's all good. We're gonna have a good party with some of the neighbors, some of our mates. So it'll all be good. Christmas at the in-law, so I don't have to cook Christmas dinner this year.
I love
That's gonna be
this.
great. And I'm just gonna enjoy some downtime, actually being able to see my girlfriend, which we don't see each other a lot. So that's gonna be good. Read my
Yeah.
books as well.
The Christmas break is so important in the women's game. Like, not only from a kind of, you guys aren't in a financial position to move your entire family over to wherever you play, and there's lots of conversations about more fixtures and more competitions and where they're going to fit. But I feel like that Christmas break, I mean, as a journalist, I bloody need it. So I can only imagine how much the players feel like they just need that little time to just switch off.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's a nice little break. To be able to switch off. I think we get like 10 days. But it's still so nice to just not have to, because it's so intense. I'm not complaining about my job. I love my job, but to see the same people all day, every day, and all these things are happening. You're playing all these games, all this WSL drama, and then you go to national team, and then for 10 days, just to be able to, I'm going to turn off my phone. I'm going to chill with my family. Yeah, so that's just really nice. And after that, you stick back into the season. But yeah, no, it's a good break.
There's a lot of people advocating for a Boxing Day WSL game fixture to come in
No.
like the Premier League. So I'm taking it that you're a no to that.
I love Boxing Day football though. Like,
Good.
To watch.
yeah, to watch, but
Not
then
to play
am I
in.
like, if depending on how much they're willing to pay me, guys. I think
Okay.
again, context.
Yeah.
If they're willing to pay me a lot more money to play Boxing Day, I'll play Boxing Day.
Are you then going to have to think about your Christmas meal? Like, can you actually get to enjoy a proper... What is your ideal Christmas meal? This feels like a very early question to be asking, but we're not going to have you on before Christmas, so...
Okay, so what we did last year, because we made our own Christmas meal. See, you need a really good Yorkshire pudding. I love a Yorkshire. Well,
Strong.
actually, Christmas meal, I love a Yorkshire pudding.
Strong start.
Did the turkey,
Mhm.
and then I think Ruth put like bacon over it.
Nice.
Don't know, is
Okay.
that controversial?
Can tell
I
it's
don't
the
know.
chef at the couple of
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
Obviously, loads of gravy. I think I eat all the trimmings. I just
Nice.
like mash it all together and just like eat
Are
it.
you Brussels
So
sprouts fan?
I love Brussels sprouts.
Oh, I love Brussels sprouts, man.
Oh,
Yes.
it was going so
They're
well.
underrated.
I love Brussels sprouts.
They're so good.
Little bit of sesame oil on them really makes a difference.
That's
They
disgusting.
are
You know what?
good.
I feel
Brussels
like
sprouts
people
are
who like
unbelievable.
Brussels sprouts think they're so mature
We
and
are.
so sophisticated.
We are.
Kerstin.
And they'll
Yeah.
say, oh, you've got to have them with chestnuts or bits of bacon. I'm like, grow
Yeah,
up.
we
They-
do.
Oh yeah,
It's
add
so
that.
good.
Delicious.
That's absolutely criminal. Kerstin, thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate you jumping on with us, especially after all the stuff that's going down with Man City and all the stuff that you're doing off and on the pitch. It's absolutely unbelievable. We absolutely love you.
Keep inspiring.
Thank you so much, mate, and hopefully speak to you. As soon as possible. Really, maybe next season. Yeah.
Yeah, go on. I'll come back on next season. That's good.
Love that.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Queens. Thank you for having me.